everybody, and welcome to Friday Afternoon Tea's first ever TTRPG live stream. I am your team master slash game master, Alan, aka Teacup. I use they, them, their pronouns, and we're gonna introduce all of our characters. Sorry about that. Introduce all of our players first, and then we'll get to the fun story bit and all that jazz. So, Friday, off to you.
Unmute your mic, Friday. Unmute your mic, Friday.
Yeah.
Let's try this again. Can we hear me now? I feel like we could probably hear me now. Cool. Whatever she's saying, I'm into it. I like that. Thank you, chat. Good. Here we are. I get to do that again. So, hi, I'm Friday. I'm the one you normally see on this channel, but tonight we get to have Teacup, my offspring and wonderful, beautiful, I don't know, co-human being in this world, leading our adventure. I was saying, and I will say it again, this is a historic night for us on this channel because not only is this our first ever actual play on our channel here at Friday Afternoon Tea, it's also Teacup's first ever streamed game, and I have to take a mom brag during my intro turn, I'm so sorry, but I'm not. And also, it's the first time that we have actually called friends in onto our channel, so that is thrilling. So there's my intro. I'm Friday, she, her pronouns. Happy to be here, and I will hand it over to Shauna.
Hello, I am Shauna. My pronouns are she, her. I've known Friday for more than 10 years at this point, I think. And this is not my first streamed game, but it is the one I'm currently most excited about, which is very cool. And I love D&D.
Yay. All right, Reese, can you please introduce yourself?
Hello, everyone. My name is Reese. My pronoun is she, her. I've had the wonderful opportunity to meet Friday over this past year, and I'm excited to be invited as a guest the other way around from how we usually meet.
All right, and last but definitely not least, Josh, can you please introduce yourself?
Hey, what's up? My name is Josh. I'm a freelance tabletop game designer, variety streamer on my own channel. I do a bunch of things in a bunch of places. Mental health is a thing that I work in a couple of different areas, and I love being here. Love Friday Afternoon Tea, and I'm excited to play some D&D with y'all, or some T&D with y'all.
All right. If that's all, do we have any like events or anything that's coming up later on this channel or anything like that?
I think that we'll handle that during outros. We'll give shout outs for upcoming events and things like that. So I think we can just get ready to game whenever you are our fearless leader.
Awesome. Well, I guess now we start. Cool. We all open up on a town, a busy town where a short-ish halfling man is flipping a coin again and again and telling wild stories to children that are all around him. He smiles and after saying some stuff about dragons and liches and all that stuff, he takes a second and he holds the coin. He flips it and then grasps it and then does that like cool thing where you hold the coin like right there. And he just smiles and he just thinks for a bit. And he just says, "You know, kids, there is one story that I think that you would find extremely interesting, which is the coin which is the story about this coin, and he like holds it between his fingers and spins it. And as he spins it, we zoom in on the coin and we transport into one side of the coin, which is Tealandia, which you can see somewhere on the screen. And we see rolling hills, crashing water. We see powerful gusts of wind that just fill your nose with intense smells of strawberries and cinnamon and just like a little kick of pepper. And as we zoom in on like the camera rolling past like hills and mountains and all this, we see different kingdoms. We see the Tisania kingdom. We see the Boba kingdom. We see different churches of the blender, the brewer, and the drinker. We see different more kingdoms, more flags, more territories of the Chai Republic and the Oversteeped Kingdom and the Earl Kingdom. And it is a glorious view to behold. But we follow the camera coasting along the island that is the majority of Tealandia. And we look to see a small bustling market and I don't know, like semi-tall looking person covered in leaves holding a book and just really smiling and really like just nosing a book, holding like 5 more with them. Shauna, can you please describe your character to us?
She's very intent on that book in her hands, and there are 5 more in her arms. You'll never see this character without a book, pretty much. She's somewhat on the taller side, perhaps not very tall, but definitely not short. Her long dress it almost looks fuzzy, and if you look closer, it's made from very, very fine leaves, all of varying beautiful shades of a greeny, browny, silvery sort of mottled color. And her hair is long and dark and sort of pulled back as successfully as it can be. Success varies. And on her shoulder, appearing to read the book along with her, is a large black raven. He occasionally seems to be making comments to her, and she's speaking back to him.
Nice. As you're kind of like reading and talking to your crow, sorry, is it a crow or raven? I have a hard time telling the difference.
Specifically a raven, because they are more solitary and less social.
Got it. Perfect. Love it. As you're like walking down, this is like one of the busiest days at this market. News has been spread around the town talking frivolously, I don't know if I'm using that word correctly, but talking like really, really intensely about a really, really, really important magical like event that's going to be happening soon, the Twilight Ball. It is an event that happens every 2-ish years, and it is the transition between the tea like liquid version of the Genasi people and the tea leaf Genasi people, and it's a very intense thing about like occasionally you'll hear like entire groups of people who aren't at all talking to each other say like the Twilight Moon like in unison, in perfect unison. Other times you'll just see like people like banging up posters like sign up for the transition today and stuff like that. It's both a very sacred like tradition that all tea people have, but um it's also a very not somber but like melancholy sort of like event, because you're transitioning from being like down to earth and like very like close to your roots, pun intended, um to being very like tippy and being very like liquidy, pun again intended slash I don't know words anymore. um but you see, as you're all you see is words, but as you're walking down the market, you bump into a tallish man who has thick like glass biceps and is like very like buff and like definitely a jock, who's carrying like a huge ass backpack that is filled with like boxes and letters and like weird fruits that came from Foodtopia, and the just like there's just a weirdly long scroll that like when you look at it you're just like, how does that fit in this backpack? But he bumps into you and he's just like, oh, I'm so sorry, ma'am, I did not at all mean to bump into you. And he like picks up one of your books because you dropped it dead. But like he's just like, I'm so sorry, I got a lot of mail. What's your name?
Oh, sorry. Do you have anything for Bettina Scarlett? That's me.
I mean, I think, and he like pulls down his like huge, like again, huge bag carrying a lot of stuff, even though it's a bag of holding. So like, it's intense. He like reaches his hand in like up to his shoulder and like pulls out this tiny box that's like a rectangle and has like pretty like trimming and stuff like that. And he says, yeah, here you go. And as you can see on it, it has like the royal seal on it that is like very special, and if you get one of these you're like not a god, but like you are very treasured as a person. I'm not gonna have you open it yet, but we'll get to that in a bit. We cut over to a like, I don't know. Josh, why don't you describe your character?
Sure. You see, probably in the midst of some kind of chore, attempting to prepare for some event that he's obviously going to be hosting. He has an issue with hosting events, and by issue I mean he just does it all the time. But you see this green tea liquid genasi. This individual with a kind of a glass frame, as if kind of akin to that of like a half elf. It is vaguely elf-like, but not fully elven. Just probably kind of taller, maybe like 5'11" or so. Not as muscular as the gentleman that Bettina just bumped into, but you know, his form belies the fact that he could probably hold his own in a fight, maybe. But you see, he's probably like busy like making notes to himself on a piece of parchment, and is dressed in, of course, very like fine clothing, all of the fineries. He must look exquisite at all times.
Yeah. Um this as you're like preparing for like some sort of hospitality event or something like that, maybe like a tea party,
Maybe.
maybe. Um as you're preparing for a hospitality event, you see this like shriveled up leaf dude. Like, that's the best way that I could describe it. It's like this tall. He has like a huge mushroom hat and a like cartoonish style like pack of like scrolls and boxes and fruit and like weird looking like scrolls and orbs for some reason that like comically are staying in this like perfect column with like some bumps and stuff, but like it's a sturdy kind of column. And he just like kind of runs up to you with like little stubby legs and he just like, excuse me. He comes up probably to like your calf, to like the middle of your calf. He's very small. He just says, excuse me. Ha. I have a box for you.
Oh, well, pardon me. Thank you. I nearly missed you there. Would you like a moment? If you'd like, I could make like a cup of tea or a cup of coffee or something. If you'd like a moment to sit down. Do you need any snacks? I got some biscuits in the oven right now.
Nah, I'm good. I have a box for you, so I'm just gonna and he like surprisingly with quick dexterity, he like pulls something out of the pot of this like huge sack, and then he like, as you see like slow motion, it starts to fall, and then he just like real quickly like speeds up it and like completely like pulls it all together and then like picks it up again, and he's just like, here you go, sir, here you go, sir. I would not like any of your tea or coffee or treats, but I would like you to give me a tip, please.
Oh, well, sure. I presume that must be customary in your line of work. Hold up, and I'll kind of
He his
check
hand
with
is
some
like,
pockets and pull out, whatever the customary, small amount of tip is, like whatever that looks like. Maybe like a 2 copper
it's
pieces.
still
I don't know.
it's still D&D money, by the way. It's still like standard like copper, golds, all that, because I
Like
don't
2 copper
fucking
pieces,
deal with the
sure.
whole, yeah. But like he like does this thing a couple of times while you're like rifling through, and then he just like takes it and he's just like, thank you kindly, and then just like zooms off. Like he's really fast, and like, and then we just cut to you holding this box, and then we move on to a, how's the best way that I can describe it? A sad looking boba tea person. like it's you can tell that the plastic is bending and like just like, oh god, why am I still alive? Like it's very much like, it's so crumpled and so like wibbledy that like it, yeah. And with like a straw somewhere, I don't know. Friday, why don't you describe your character? You're just sitting at a
That's
bar, just
me.
like,
I'm the sad Bo baby.
you're on mute. You're muted, by the way.
Yep. So I have to unmute 2 places apparently. I'm the sad Bo baby.
Yes, you are.
Okay. Hi, I'm the sad Bo baby. So this is Chewy. This is Chewy, and Chewy served for many years in the palace of the 2 emperors in the Boba dynasty. But then they took a stray boba pellet to the knee at such a velocity that it actually melted their compostable corn plastic, despite the fact that it was double layered, as is customary for the military in the Boba dynasty. Yeah, so the whole right side has kind of crumpled a little bit. Really, it's just the knee that's injured, but also a bit it's their spirit. So here we see a double cupped corn plastic shaped like a humanoid, filled with moderate, coffee, tea, milk mixture, and lots of little chunky floating brown sugar boba. Every now and again, the constitution will slip a little bit, and poor sad Bo baby will feel a little. It's just a little reflux, I guess, really. So every now and again, you'll see the boba kind of start to rise to the surface, but they keep it down. They keep it down. They're prone to nervous reflux a little bit,
Yeah.
and kind of, as you say, off askew to one side, sitting on a bar stool, just, I suppose, hoping for
Yeah.
some meaning to stumble into their life again now that they've been retired due to a warped knee. Damn those heated, fast-moving boba. They'll
Yeah.
take a good soldier down as soon as, boil. I don't know.
Yeah.
So there we go. That's Chewy.
Yeah, we see Chivy just sad at the bar, just doesn't have a purpose anymore, just like real depressing. And a like a an oolong boba to tapioca like market person, who of course, as Serendipity, kind of just like pulls up. They've got like a cart, like one of those pulley carts that they usually is pulled by a horse, but like you haven't seen a horse in years. And like it has like just a bunch of containers of like different types of boba and like or sorry, tapioca, and like it's a lot, but they sell it pretty well, and they just kind of like pull around right next to you at the bar, and then kind of like detach themselves from the cart and just kind of like sit next to you and just like, hey buddy. Right.
Straighten up a little bit. I don't much like people to see me not at my military finest, but here we are. Just a little off to one side. Hey, Serendipity. How's it going?
Hi buddy. Do you want some boba? I mean, sorry, tapioca. That's a failure on my part. I'm sorry.
I was just gonna turn it into boba anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you want some tapioca? Like, cause you just look real sad, and I think that that might cheer you up a little bit.
I could eat.
Yeah, and they just bring up like they just take a gigantic like crate of just tapioca, and they're just like, you know what? It's on the house. Even though I don't have a house, it's on the house. Here you go. Please don't eat them all at the same time. I did add like a little spike or something in them, just like a little bit. But it's not something that you need to worry about. It just might make you feel a little bit better and a little bit more healthier.
Oh, like a little ginger syrup soak on there?
Yeah.
That's my favorite. Serendipity,
it's like
always looking out.
I put it in a pot. Like, I have those like just gigantic jars that are really meant to put like candy fish in. I put instead like a bunch of tapioca, and then just like 500 like garlic, or no, ginger, and then just like a bunch of honey. So I hope that you eat those, not all at the same time, because it
already
took
getting
me.
out my boba straw that doubles as a dart gun. I just always keep it on my person.
But yeah, no, you take care, and please take like a couple of breaths while you eat that, and they like wave a little like bye, and then they like take their cart and go. And and then you see just a little dude, just a little glass dude who looks like the roundest frog possible. Kind of just like it's a glass. It's the roundest glass frog that you've ever seen in your entire life, and it has a little backpack, and it just kind of rolls over to you, like actually rolls, and it like, and you see inside of it, it has like this box inside of it. For some reason, you don't know why there's a box in it, but it kind of like sit next, like it jumps up next to you, and kind of like, and like it like throws up right in front of you,
I can't
and
look.
and like with with a liquidy like thump, it like hits the bar counter, um and then it like rolls away.
I'll pick it up.
Yeah.
I'll
And it,
slowly eat my tapioca because I'm a military. I'm a former military individual, and I have not forgotten my discipline.
yeah. And then we smash cut to Reese, or to Reese's character, sorry. We see that Reese's character is sitting alone in a garden. It was just put here in like the low life community, or sorry, the like peasant area, the like broke community. It was a garden that the Earl King, Constantine, had. He was like, you know what, like, I feel like these lower live people aren't getting the enjoyment of like some nice flowers and stuff like that. So let's fix that, and we're gonna put some nice flowers and like potatoes over here. So you're just sitting there in the garden. And how about you describe your character for us?
My character is the Countess of the Earl Kingdom. So, um, she, her parents have passed, so she decided to spend her life among the commoners in the village, and definitely prefers to be around them because they have more fun. She spends all of her time uh, playing games, playing sports, having tea parties, and maybe being at a bar every once in a while. The commoners really know how to party. Um, she still receives a regular allowance from the king, just knowing that I'm out there all on my own. But within my own duty, I prefer to make sure that the commoners are being well taken care of.
Yeah.
I like to dress up in pretty tea party dresses, even though I don't mind getting it dirty. And I take my life as a leaf genasi very seriously. So I spend a lot of time in the woods collecting leaves to decorate my dresses with. And at this point, being in the garden was kind of a task that was given to me by the king, knowing how I feel about the commoners being taken care of.
So, as you sit there, you see, um, you see a girl who is around like 4 or 5. Like, she is height wise, not like age. She's like 4'5", and she is very, like, you can tell from like the amount that her cheekbones are like, sorry guys, that the amount that like her cheekbones are like popping out kind of, and that like she has like the liquid that's inside of her, which is kind of like the way in this world that you show like how healthy you are and stuff like that. The liquid is like down to her belly button. It is very, very low. She has not eaten in probably weeks. And she's kind of just like walking into the garden, seeing if there's anything edible at all. And she kind of just like real quickly like looks at you and then looks away and then looks at you again with like a sense of confusion of like, why is there a beautiful like royal looking person in like the garden for like poor folk. And then she like looks away, kind of like still with that confusion and thinking, and then she's like, oh, and gets really, really excited and like runs over to you a little bit slower than you think that she probably could run, if she like was able to eat. But she like runs over to you and she's just like, oh my god, hi, my name is Beth. um I'm Beth Pot, and I'm sorry to ask, but could I please have, like, do you have any food on you? I'm really, really hungry, and I'm really, really hungry, and I haven't been able to find my folks, and we don't have very much money. So could I have some food, please?
Hi,
She
Beth.
sheepish.
Yeah, hi, Beth. Nice to meet you. I'm so sorry to hear that you're hungry. That's never okay with me. You definitely come to the right place. My name is Calabria, and you happen to be standing in this wonderful garden that we just were able to harvest some potatoes. Do you think that that could be something you could eat?
Potatoes? I'd love some potatoes. But I've heard that you can't eat them raw. So,
I was gonna ask you if there's any way that you have a way to cook it.
um, well, I do know one person that could help me cook it, but he'd probably just explode the potato. So, maybe not him. But I could. Well, we can't light fire. The king said specifically that we couldn't light fires in the garden. Well, we could go to the place that I'm staying at for now. They have a nice bonfire that we can like cook stuff on.
Yeah, definitely. Let's get as many as you need to feed your entire family, and you'll have some good potatoes to tie you over.
Okay. And she grabs like one of the baskets, like one of the harvest baskets that are like in the area that like are the baskets like where you can like hold stuff, and like take it to your family and stuff like that. She grabs one of the baskets and like just starts like pulling for like potatoes and like grabs them, puts them in the basket. She grabs like maybe 20 or 30 of them. And then she goes over to like this like little tin that she has like on her belt, and she takes off the tin and opens it, and she takes out a couple of seeds and like sprinkles it on to the ground and then like covers them up. And then she's like, okay, I'm ready to go. And then like she kind of like tries to lead you to the place that they are staring at.
Hey, what kind of seeds were those?
Oh, they're magic seeds. They grow pretty much anything. One time, I saw well, she's not really my grandma, but we call her grandma because she's kind of like the person who like keeps an eye on all of us. I once saw my grandma like plant one of these seeds, and then it grew a bunch of like little cups, like little sugar cups. And then another time, Jeremy, who is like one of the older boys in the camp, he took a bunch of seeds and he like threw them on the ground, and then like everything exploded. Not like everything, like the encampment is fine. The encampment is still okay, but like a lot of stuff exploded. Like it was we had to get new trash cans, and because the trash cans are where like a lot of us like spend a lot of our time. And then we had to get new like charcoal for us to play with. Um, but it was honestly a lot easier to get more charcoal because all the fires. So yeah, but I don't know. Sometimes they grow like, and as she's talking, she's like leading you towards the like encampment and stuff like that. I don't know if encampment is the right word to use here, but like a place where like a bunch of people are like able to be, and like if they don't have a home, so like maybe like a camp, I guess. um but like as she's telling you like all these stories about these beans like growing like massive bean stalks, or like a crazy looking flower that sorry wild looking flower that like has like weird like pincers that like bite you and poison you and stuff like that. Like as she's telling you these like wild stories, you think that like maybe they're not all true. um but when it comes to like one of the stories that she told you was that like one time one of her cousins like planted a seed, and like it sprouted up like a full-on human being, and then the human like started like dancing and talking and like all this stuff, and you're like, maybe that's true, but there's like a very small probability that it is true, and maybe it's just like a wild dream that she had. So like as she's telling you these wild stories, you start walking towards this camp, and you see it's a little bit sad, but honestly you've probably been here like multiple times. um it's kind of like a refugee camp area. A lot of boba soldiers who are like kind of mostly decayed or decomposed, like mostly decomposed, and they're just kind of like trying to live the like last couple of days with decency. And then you've got like some short hojicha like twiggy kids who are just like running around like covered in dirt, like covered in them. You see some other people who are just just fighting, but like it's a thing of like they don't know what else to do because they're in a bad situation, and if they can make themselves feel better in the end, they might as well do it. You see some other people who are like doing some stuff that maybe isn't like totally healthy or okay. um but like you see a bunch of stuff happening, and the girl leads you to what you assume is her family. It is her family. But like they're all very, very nice. They're covered in dirt still. Many of them don't have a lot of liquid inside of them. And the folks who aren't like liquid genasi have like a lot of their leaves are just like dried up and like in like the fall when you see a like a leaf that is on a tree and hasn't fallen yet but like is clearly dead, like it is like coming apart and like somehow it's like really really like squishy and like if you just rub on it it'll like come off like a eraser, like like it clearly it's dead but like it's still trying to like stay attached. These people are just like they are on the brink. They need like a full-on miracle to happen in order for them to stay alive, which is perfectly natural. It's like it's not a bad thing, it's just they're in a little bit of a worse spot than like other folks are. You see that she brings her people, you see that she brings her people like around in a like little circle, and you see that she like takes this like huge basket of potatoes and then like just chucks them on like this huge ass bonfire. Like it is gigantic. You were surprised that you didn't see it when you like walked in, but like it is massive. And roll a perception check. First roll of the night. I can't really do a drum roll, but you get the idea.
Okay. Let's see. It's a 6.
You see just a lot of fire. It's moving weirdly like in a circle. But you like it's very like flamboyant and like it's kind of dancing a little bit. But like it's just a party fire. Like it's very much like this fire is here for a good time. But yeah, it's you see as like the fire is like cooking the potatoes and as all of them are like eating them, everyone's everyone's like faces just light up, like some of the leaves start to like grow back, some of like the liquid is just filled up to like probably like their upper chest. Everyone is so much more happier, and then like the little girl starts passing around like potatoes to everyone and stuff like that. And one of the guys that you know, that you've seen many times, he loves to talk to you. You're very very sweet and very very kind. He Jason walks up to you, this like old kind of like very very bent back, not great posture but like he's trying his best because you're royalty and like all that. He kind of like bows a little bit and like, oh, hi there, really really good to see you. Thank you for bringing the kid back. She surprisingly did not get permission from her parents to go into town, into like the fancy town. So thank you very much for bringing her back. How are you? Are you doing good? Do you need any like reconnaissance stuff from us, or are you just good from us?
Oh, Jason, you know you don't have to bow to me. We're friends. I'm glad I was able to find the kid and bring her back and help out you guys. I don't need anything from you though. I'm just glad that you're doing okay.
All right. Well, that's good. I did want to let you know. I did want to let you know that I found this really like I didn't open it because I couldn't, but like I found this weird box thing. It was in like a little dude with like a weird hat, like a mushroom hat or something like that. Saw him with like a huge stack of stuff, just like running past, and he dropped something, and I picked it up, and I saw that it had your name on it. And I'm sorry, but I tried to open it. Couldn't open it for some weird reason. But I tried to open it, and it like kind of like hit me with like a this can only be opened by the one who has its name on it. So I don't know if that's like a magical thing. You know, you're a magic person, so like
Yeah, be careful with that one. If you don't mind, I'll take that with me.
yeah, all right. And he like hands it to you, and actually now would be a great time for all of you to open up your boxes. Sorry, some bubbles came up. I don't know what happened. All of you, please open your boxes, and can one of you please read the letter that's inside of it? Also, as you guys open up your boxes, I'm going to tell viewers who cannot really see what's happening inside of these boxes what's happening. So I made a bunch of like gift boxes and stuff like that, and they have a letter inside of them with a piece of rosemary. They have a like rose, a rose pendant thing, that as you guys open it, actually like kind of glows. It like following the like shape of the rose, it glows. There is a bless coin. It's kind of like an overall blessing that you can use at any point in this game. Yeah, it's very special. And then you have like a little chocolate, and that's it. I hope that I didn't miss anything. I'm pretty sure I didn't. Did I miss anything?
I love
What's
that
what's
you
the
said-
chocolate for, Teacup?
What?
What's the chocolate for, Teacup?
You eat it.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Hopefully it's not too melted.
Yeah, I'm
Mine's
sure
a
it's
little
just fine.
melted, but I'm gonna eat it anyway.
Cool.
But also, I love that you were like, "Oh yeah, that's it." Like, oh my gosh, you list all these incredible items. You made us freaking boxes. That, by the way,
This is wonderful.
This kid stained them with tea. These are like poire stained, right?
Yeah, pouring coffee.
Yeah, mine smells like
And
red
they
gamba.
smell so good.
Mhm. Yes, and like, can we just take a minute to look at the wax seal?
Yes.
That is a Camellia sinensis design on that wax seal.
I
That
love
is
it.
an actual tea plant design on a wax seal with a little actual lavender sprig pressed into mine anyway. I haven't seen these either, by the way. I live with Teacup, and I didn't peek. I haven't seen any of this. I'm gonna eat my chocolate.
I think I was squeeing over the things in the box. Did you talk about what this is for?
Oh, right. And there's little pieces of jewelry and stuff. So, okay. So, as each of you, we're going to do like, you know, in like movies where they like cut the screen into 4 sections. So, we're going to do that. Each of you open up your boxes. You see a letter, a rose thing that glows, a piece of chocolate, a letter, and a piece of jewelry. So as you open it, we see that Chewy got, what did you get, Mom? Right, the hoops. So as you open it, a little thing falls out of the package, and you see hoops hoops of invisibility. And pretty much it's like a once per long rest use, where you cast invisibility on yourself. I don't remember if it's greater invisibility. Like, what's the one underneath greater invisibility?
Just normal invisibility.
Just yeah. So
I think.
yeah. So
invisible.
yeah. So you can use like there's a spell charged inside of the hoops that you can activate once per long rest, which is just a like simple invisibility. It's the lowest level invisibility. It's just, and then as soon as you attack someone, you drop out of invisibility. So I said invisibility a lot, and I feel very uncomfortable with it. Shauna, what did you get?
I got a beautiful silver bracelet. With camels on it. And I forget the name of it, but the beautiful like hand looking design. I forget what it's called.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, my lighting situation's a little weird today, but let me see if I can bring it anywhere close so people can see a little. Yeah.
Yeah, so this is a bracelet of pocket dimension. I don't remember exactly what the spell is called, but if you can use it once per long rest. If you twist it around your arm, it opens up. You cast the spell like pocket dimension. I don't remember. Again, I don't remember what the spell is called, but you twist it and then you open like up a pocket dimension that you can put stuff in and pull stuff out. Yeah. Reese, tell us what you got.
I got this beautiful bracelet with a dark blue stone.
Awesome. That is a bracelet of water breathing. So,
Nice.
At any point you can go underneath water and breathe it. It's real simple. You just put it on, breathing. Boom, got it. And then Josh, what do you got?
I have these lovely little cross-shaped earrings.
Yeah. So I wasn't able to find anything that would look similar enough to the religious symbol of the brewer. But these earrings are a one-time use only of earrings of resurrection. So these earrings, if you kind of like crush both of them, it like you can cast a resurrection spell. It acts as the components / it is the spell. Which, by the way, the brewer's like religious symbol is a tea bag. Is like a cute little tea bag that has like leaves in it, and like has like light streams coming off of it. Like, you know, like how religious things have like light thing. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like, but yeah. So all of you guys open these up. I would like one of you to open up, I would like all of you to open up the letter, but I would like one of you to read it out loud. Also, sorry for the bad spelling.
I could read it if you like.
Sure.
All right. Bettina unfolds the letter. The wax seal sticks a little bit, so there's a hole, but luckily there are no words on the bit with the hole. So it's like it was magically set to be like that. So, dear special guests, you have been invited to the ball of the century, the Twilight Ball. This is a great honor to be chosen to join us and see the twilight moon, and to see the transition of the leaf folk to the tea folk. There will be treats and treasures. Wear your finest garb and bring some coin for card games. King Mateus of the Earl Kingdom.
Yes. So I actually messed up on some words and stuff. I don't know. But as you all read the letter, we smash cut to like 2 days later. All of you are in the ball. We see gates opening up. We see different like groups of kingdoms walk into the like hallways, into the great, amazing Earl Kingdom palace and castle. And as we focus on like a quick glimpse, a quick like flash between each of the characters in their fancy ballroom outfits, we are going to cut to a 10-minute break. So, yeah.
All right, excellent. Thank you. When we come back, can we describe our outfits?
Of course.
Okay.
That's why I'm giving you guys 10 minutes.
So long as we get a fashion show, that's all I need from tonight. Excellent. Okay, great. Thank you all. We'll be back in 10 minutes. Stretch, get some water, get a snack if you need. Go outside and listen to thunder if you're in the North Seattle area. Do whatever you got to do. We will see you.
Oh, no.
See you back here very soon.
Yeah. Great. Bye. Sorry, T&D. I messed up my own pun. No. So when we left off before this break, we saw all of our characters, heroes, at some point, walking into. Oh God! Sorry, I inhaled something. I'm okay though. We see all of our characters walking into the Twilight Ball, one of the most important and coolest events in this world. So as you all walk into this ball, sweet instrumental music from Regency eras are playing. Please, everyone, describe how your character is dressed for this special event. Yeah. You know what, Carson? You go first.
So, Carson, he's decided to step up his game for this event. He's got his finest cowboy boots on, but beyond that, it's he's got this, just fancy, elaborate outfit with the frilly shirt and the vest that goes underneath, and the large coat with the collar that pops on top, and he's got some kind of cravat ascot type of deal up here. He's just dressed to the nines. He's probably got like a hat. I just didn't have a hat on hand, so he's just being real fancy.
Love it. Chewy, what about you? What does your character look like?
Cool. There we go. I'm unmuted. So Chewy has arrived in a retained piece of military dress, even though technically they're not supposed to. They just took off the badges or covered the ones that are like really permanently affixed. Any insignias that are a part of the actual design of the dress uniform from the Boba Dynasty has been cleverly hidden with like a nicely draped little gauzy shawl type situation, which is like not a super cute effect, but they're making an effort. It's a real weird, like, we got like button down dress uniform with weird gauzy shawl on top. The collar is like kind of visible. It's not super working, but it's a little working. And at least Chewy is standing more like upright than usual, despite the half melted right knee has managed to at least kind of straighten out some of the crimps in the compostable corn plastic of their side, so a little straighter than usual. Shiny black shoes.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna mess this name up several times, but Bettina.
Bettina.
Bettina, please
Yes.
describe what you are wearing.
I am wearing a shiny purple dress with sort of an overlayer that trails made out of little tiny shimmery leaves. So the shiny purple dress, if you look really closely, is made of hundreds of ribbons all coming together as if they were one piece of fabric. And they move in an odd way that fabric doesn't always move on its own.
Nice.
And of course, my raven is on my shoulder where he
Oh, of
belongs.
course. Oh,
He's wearing a very fancy bow tie that matches my dress.
nice. That's awesome. And I am so sorry. How do you pronounce your name, Reese? Your character's name?
Calabria.
Calabria. What are you wearing, Calabria?
Well, since this is an event in my kingdom, I'm always expected to show up even if I don't want to be there, but they always dress me well. So, since my favorite color is green, I'm wearing a long green gown complete with the corset and petticoat. And they honored my love for leaves, so they have embroidered leaf print all over it.
I love that. I love all of these outfits, and I kind of want them in the real world. So as you all enter this beautiful, gorgeous castle, you see that all of the kingdoms are kind of sectioned off into their like royal like areas, and the like royal announcer, the like keeper of names or something. I don't know what the official title of it is, but the royal announcer comes and stands on on a like podium looking thing, stairs like the curved stairs lead up to, and it's like this like little like balcony area, and he looks down at you all and speaks up, and he says, "Welcome to the Twilight Ball, the 46th Twilight Ball of this year. Well, like decade, is that right?" And he turns to like the squire of a knight, and he's like, and the squire just said, "Yeah, I think so. It's the 42nd, the 46th. It's the Twilight Ball. You all get it." And like there's a kind of like low like rumbling laugh between the whole crowd, as this is kind of like a gag that these people do multiple times, um and uh and you see him. By the way, he is a tall, very slender man with a fine, like amazingly cool, like suit jacket with like the little tails that like curl up at the end, and he has like his glass like hair that's like carved, like pushed to the side, and he's very shiny, and he waves his hand out to the different groups, and he says, "The Boba dynasty," and they stand up really straight and bow. The king and other kings, the kings of the Boba dynasty, Jeremiah T and Julafaris T. Julafaris is Jew law tourist. So yeah. Both of them, both of the kings are glass, are like they are liquid genasi who are very regal in how they present, but really they're just like straight up jokesters. They have no serious bone in their body. They're like, "We can bring people back from the dead, it's fine." Like they're necromancers. One has a wide brim hat that has has a bird skull on it, and the other and like is wearing full on like cape and cloaks and all of the and like fancy attire, and the other is just like holding his hand and he's really really sweet looking, but still like that royal prowess, and he is wearing just like classic just fine robes, that have like little vines going like weaving in between each of the articles of clothing, and their daughter, the recently kind of resurrected princess of the Boba dynasty, um Marcy. And she speaks up, or really her ghost pet. She has a little like pet that is a ghost, who like comes from like a part of her wrist, like like Spider-Man. It's like the same sort of part of the wrist, like it's very much like ghost. um but the ghost speaks up and it's like, actually it's Milk Sadie's, and and uh and she stands very like proudly, and like it's very serious face, but also like a little bit of a curl of a smile comes from like the edges of her mouth, and and then the royal announcer turns to the Chai Republic and says, "The Chai Republic, King, or sorry, Queen of the Chai Republic, Mrs. Martisi." And Martisi, who is this like gnome shaped liquid genasi, who always holds a wrench and has like a little like a tool bag, is like, it's fine. I don't really go by like any special name. Just call me Mars. And like just kind of does like a little fist bump in the air. And like this huge robotic like Goliath, essentially. Not the actual race, but like a Goliath size, kind of like walks behind her and kind of like bows robotically, and says, "Your Majesty, it's a common courtesy. Please remember." And you see a little bit of tea like running down from his like he's got like a little crack right here, and there's like a little bit of tea coming out. But it's like this oily looking stuff. So it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. It's probably a good thing though. And then the royal announcer turns over to Tisania, and says, "Tisania, the king, the king and the queen, who are both leaf-shaped dwarves. The king is in a wheelchair that is made out of like bamboo shoots, essentially. And the queen holds a banner, with like a little insignia of like a wreath with a scythe like cutting through it. And she just stands there right next to her husband, and then the announcer says, "And the royal subjects, Queen Lucidian and King and King Mint." And then the royal announcer again turns to the Sweet Tea Nation and like does the weak thing, and he says, "The Sweet Tea Nation, king and no, sorry, queen and queen, keep on wanting to say marsupial, but that's not this is not their name. Queen Queen Pops and Queen Pie. And you see two, again, like gnome shaped glass tea genasi who one of them like always has a pie, always has some sort of food, something like that, and the other is like reading a book and like flipping through it while holding like a cup of coffee or milk or something like that, and they both kind of just like and then we and then the royal announcer turns to the door that the doors that are behind him and says, and of course the royal king. I'm so sorry, my brain just did like a little fog cloud. The royal Constantine and his mistress Gray. And they open the door, and you see these two very royal looking like people, who the king, Constantine, has like full plate armor and a cape, and a crown on his head, and Gray has like a beautiful princess ball, like princess dress, and it has like, you know, that like classic like tea cup print. It's that exact print on her dress. And they bow, and the king steps forward and says, I am very thankful to see all of you come to our ball. I know that it's the first time in a long time that we've hosted it, so I hope that all of you make yourselves comfortable. We will be having the transitional ceremony in a couple of hours, so please grab a drink, grab some treats, and we will be getting to the treasures later in the evening. I hope that you all have a great time, and now mingle! And he kind of claps his hand, and like a big poof of smoke like appears, and he's gone. And then you just see him like pop up next to the like orchestral band, and they just start playing like awesome music. It's a lot of like fiddle and violin, and just like a lot of like, there's a person playing a banjo and they can't really say no to him. So yeah, you guys walk around, mingle, talk, read, and just, what do you guys want to be doing? You can talk to literally anyone of any of the kingdoms and just relax.
I would sure love to go up to my kings, like adjust my little shawl to make sure that any insignia is covered, so I'm not technically misrepresenting myself as a member of the royal guard, because I know I'm not anymore. But we left on good terms. We had a really delightful exit interview over like a little snack tray, a little charcuterie, and we're on good terms. So we still write letters sometimes. I just would love to go over and say hi, especially to sweet little Milk Sadie's, who I feel like has maybe just grown just a little bit since I last saw her.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, if I hadn't mentioned already, Milk Sadie's is an undead girl who was brought back to life by one of the kings, who is a necromancer.
Out of the kindness of his heart.
Yeah, out of the kindness of his heart, of course. But yeah, no, she walks up to you and is very much like, "Oh, it's so good to see you. I thought I had something for you."
Was it a hug? Little lady? Boop! Like a booper on her tiny undead nose.
Okay, I'm gonna have to jot that down. And she pulls down like a little book that has like a little title on it that says like social cues, like social cues 101. And like she flips over to like the back of the book and just starts writing like nose booping is okay.
I'll look over her shoulder and say it's a sign of affection from trusted and known individuals,
Okay.
considered a breach of etiquette with those you have not been properly introduced to, or those you've previously set a boundary against with. Therefore,
Got it. Thank you very much. Oh right, Blink wanted to show you something, and the ghost pops up and is just holding like a little boba, or sorry, is just holding a little
yeah,
shoot, what are,
tapioca, little boba.
just like a little ghost tapioca, and just kind of like and just like spits it into your mouth, or not
Oh,
into
well,
your or somewhere near you.
I'll just catch it. Thanks.
And
Blink
kind of,
180 brew. I appreciate you.
and then it just like goes right back into the arm.
Excellent. I think I'll go kind of meander after, now that I've said my hellos. Just kind of look around the party.
Yeah. You look at this this like weird looking tapioca. It like you can hold it, you can touch it, but you can also see through it, and like there's some sort of like weird necromantic aura coming off of it, but it's not something that you really need to worry about. But yeah.
Cool. Great. I'll just pocket it. It's
Yeah.
a little gift from a little pet friend. I'll just go kind of make the rounds and just look at people and sip my tea.
Yeah. I'm going to actually say that Clara Bria? Did I get it right?
Calabria.
Calabria, damn it. I would say that Calabria, you see this just huge boba person just like pocket this like weird necromantic tapioca in just like a pocket and just walk off, and you're just kind of like, all right.
Well,
Like
I think
you
Calabria, like we've met at past occasions, like past royal
Yeah.
gatherings and things. So you at least recognize me and kind of know my association with the royal family, I think.
True.
Yeah.
I'm still somewhat suspicious. Can I roll an investigation?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. It's an 8.
8? Yeah. You like look at them for like a long time, and then all of a sudden, Chewy, you just see this person like staring at you, just like.
I suppose it's only courtesy to go say hello. Let's walk over to Calabria. Countess. Several bows. I'm not really sure what the bow etiquette is anymore now that I'm no longer part of the royal guard. Do a lot of this. Countess.
This is the only place I would allow someone to bow to me. Thank you.
I hope you're enjoying the festivities.
I mean, they have good food here. Most of my friends weren't invited, so I guess it's good for me to be able to rekindle old friendships and make new ones.
I've always liked your attitude a great deal, Countess, if it's not imprudent of me to say. And a lot of my friends are working this event, so I understand.
that's more my type of people then.
Well, there's always sneaking out back for a little break to just relax with the help if you ever get too tired of all these bows and curtsies and all that. You're always welcome.
That's an adventure that I would love to take sometime later.
Well, I'll leave you to your mingling, Countess. My pleasure. Happy to see you. Have a wonderful time.
Finger
Um, yeah, you actually do see some like a guard that's like a boba guard, kind of just like finger guns you back, and then just kind of like looks around and he's like, and he walks towards you and he's like, "Hey, Chewie, what's up? How are you doing? It's been a while since I've seen you, and like, how you doing?"
Oh, yeah, bud. It has been a while. I'm okay, just limping around on this old melted knee. That boba, sometimes it really packs a flaming little punch there when you get it hot out in the syrup and it goes flying across the kitchen like that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, you better take care. You don't want to end up like me. I'm just looking for the next adventure, man. But you just take care of yourself and your health and say hi to the family for me, why don't you?
Yeah, I will. Yeah, I totally will. Look, I just want to let you know that, like, okay, and he kind of like pulls you to the side, just like closer to the wall, really, and he's just like, all right, I want to let you know that, like, okay, me and a couple of my friends have been hearing some pretty wild things. All right, we heard that some of the rural scientists, alchemists, and stuff like that, and artificers, we heard that like they were trying to bring people back from the dead. And like I know that the Boba family's got it. We got a freaking necromancer on our team.
Yeah, that's royal business. Huh.
It's just some like rumors that we've been hearing around.
All right.
But yeah, like I don't know, like, and as you and as we'll call him Charlie, as Charlie is like telling you this stuff about like the Earl Kingdom trying to bring back people from the dead. uh Bettina, oh god, I hope that I got it right this time.
Bettina.
Oh, come on. Bettina,
Yeah.
your ears perk up as you hear scientists bringing up, like, trying to bring people back from the dead. You just immediately hear
In the
that.
Earl Kingdom.
I want to quietly sneak over there. Like, I'm trying to not be noticed.
Roll a stealth check.
Yes. Oh, I'm not playing a stealth character this time. Did I remember that? I did not. So we'll see how this goes. Where's my D20? There we go. 10.
Yeah, I mean, you do blend in with the crowd, but it's a thing of like you're trying to stealth in a crowd that you do not feel comfortable in because people, and so it's kind of just like a
Somebody accidentally elbows Aloysius and he squawks.
yeah, and like a person like turns around too quickly and accidentally pours like their like champagne on your book and like, oh, I'm so sorry.
I prestidigitate that shit off my book immediately.
Yeah, and like, oh, I'm so sorry, and then they like go and grab like another glass of champagne, and I mean, you make it pretty close, like, yeah. And Charlie's just like like, yeah, like I heard that they were doing it. I heard that there was like a weird tunnel underneath the castle that like led to this weird, like freaky, like I don't know, like science lab.
Okay,
It's like
Broba.
what?
Like, you know we're in a crowd, right?
We're not that close.
All right. Okay, Charlie. Look, I told you a million times and I'll tell you again. Just watch your volume, man.
Here's science.
Who said that?
Wishes. No one. It was definitely not this raven on my shoulder. That would never happen.
Yo, what's the deal with that bird?
Hey, Charlie, aren't you working? Aren't you supposed to be in position, soldier?
I am in.
I'll handle this.
In
I'll
position.
handle the
you
civilian.
supposed to be in position?
Okay, Broba, you get back to position. I'll handle the civilians and just, contact me later. Just
Okay,
send a frog or something. Just be cool. Be cool.
I will.
Okay. All right.
That's
Turn to
bad.
Bettina.
Okay, but I super want to know what's going on.
Oh, yeah, that feels like potentially classified information.
That is being discussed rather loudly at a,
Yeah,
at
that
a
was
societal
It wasn't
function.
that loud. You hear from like all the way over at the wall.
Yeah, that feels classified, and I'm sure Charlie will be reprimanded accordingly once I bring this to the attention of the kings. But thank you for your concern. Please enjoy the party, and to you as well, Pro Raven creature.
Hello, Chewie.
Hello, Aloysius?
Oh.
Is that you?
I remember you. We met you last time. 2 years ago.
Oh, that's right. I apologize. I don't remember your name, but Aloysius here. Yeah.
I'm Bettina. I seem to recall your name is Chewie?
Well, yeah. Like the bird said, Chewy, Bettina. Lovely to make your acquaintance. Put out one crinkly double cupped plastic hand.
I shake your hand without flinching.
It's super crinkles. It makes a real gross crunchy noise. Grizzled old vet over here. Excellent. Well, Bettina, have a lovely party. Don't you worry about a thing. We'll get to the bottom of this, and you just carry on.
Well, if you need
To the bottom of this.
if you need someone who, knows a lot of stuff or is good at finding out stuff, let me know.
Entirely possible. Aloysius can vouch for you, I'm sure, and this bird's never led me astray. One other time we met. All right. Excellent. So Chewie will kind of meander on back to the kings and sort of keep an eye on the party and just generally fade into the background for a little bit.
Parties, am I right? I love them. You would.
Carson, can you please roll me a d4?
Gladly. 2.
As you're walking and enjoying the hospitality, as you're enjoying all of this wonderful food, amazing drinks, and just great people around, you kind of hear a little bit of gossip, a little bit of rumors, and you hear one of the sweet tea people who are going to be getting transitioned tonight say, well, I heard a rumor that the princess was adopted by the Oversteep's kingdom, or that at least a princess was. I have quite intelligence when it comes to trying to figure out who's been adopted. I am part of the class fair, and so I'm pretty good at guessing people's weight, and so I assume that it's the same thing when it comes to guessing people if people are adapted. And you see another one who's a little bit of an older Leaf Genasi say, "Well, yes, there is a possibility." He is from the Earl Kingdom. Yes, there is a possibility of one of the princesses being adopted, but there could also be not a possibility. Then and then he just says some like psychology stuff, and pretty much it's like you hear a bit and then it just disappears afterwards. Actually, what is Carson doing? What are you what's up?
Well, I suppose he's just kind of walking around. He probably got like a little one of those little plates with like cheese and crackers on it.
There you go.
Probably walking around, just kind of saying hey to everybody. He's kind of friends with everyone. He's one of those people that, just is generally a little too kind for their own good, and so everyone likes to talk to them. Just be like hey, because they know that they can ask him to do stuff for him later, and he'll probably say yes. And so you just walk around saying hey to everyone. But he's probably looking specifically for Chidrick, his kind of acquaintance from Tisania. That's kind of, I think maybe his current agenda item is catch up with Chidrick.
Yeah. Sorry, did you say Chidrick with a D as in dog, or Chidrick as in B as in bog?
With the D as in dog. Yeah,
cool.
yeah. It's like Cedric but Chai instead.
Got it. Love it. Yeah, as you're walking around, you just see you see two twins. They're not technically they're not related. One of them is a doppelganger and the other is like the real person. And you see Chai Drick and Try Brick. And they both are like, "Hey, how you doing? How's the sitch?"
Oh, hey, hello there, y'all. Great to see you. I was just walking around. I was actually funny enough. I was looking for you. I wanted to say hey, to both of you, obviously, of course. But Chidrick in particular, I was thinking, I would love to make some time while we're all here this evening to sit down and just kind of have a little chat about maybe ways that we could help move the relationship between our two kingdoms along. I feel like we ought to be like chatting about like ways that we can better do diplomacy and stuff like that.
Of course. I mean, honestly, I think that the relationship between the Sweet Tea Nation and the Chai Kingdom isn't really great. Or sorry, Chai Republic. But I would want to make it better. And if I can do that while also spending time with my pal, I totally will. And he kind of does like that I was about to do the thing from Community, but he does that kind of like bro thing where like he grabs your hand and then pulls you in and like does a pat thing.
Excellent. I'm very uncomfortable with this the whole time. That is not what we do in my high society. We don't do that. So I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm like, oh, we're gonna go in for a nice handshake. Oh no, oh God.
Love it. Yeah, no, he is just really enthusiastic because he hasn't seen another person who doesn't look like himself in a long time. So he's just like, I am so psyched. We should grab like a corner or something and we should just chat it out because like, bro, that is how people get stuff done.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So he like grabs a couple, like he grabs 2 drinks from like a passer waitress by, and like just hands you one, and like cheers, and then just starts drinking. And like, I assume you guys talk, but like, what would you like to talk about exactly with him?
Well, I mean, as is cordial, you should start with, the first 5 minutes should be small talk, just like, talk about nothing in particular. But then, of course, once you kind of get past that first little barrier of just establishing the fact that you're both talking without talking about anything, then you kind of, actually talk about business. I'll probably hit it with a question like, hey, so about that, like trade deal that we were talking about. Any word on, what's up? Like, just start to, just work out general like business negotiations. Maybe there's some kind of deal in place that we're trying to get the official, stamps of approval from royalty, and that takes time, because they've all got these egos and things that get in the way of us actually, making progress. So, we gotta make it happen.
Yeah. Yeah. He looks at you, and he's just like, with just complete like sincerity, he's just like, look, I've been trying to get this spice like sent to the Sweet Tea Nation, to spice up your life.
Yeah.
But like, man, these Spice Girls are like they are really giving me a hard time, okay? Like Sporty Spice, who like does mainly like gingers and stuff. She is like wild. I tried to get to not be in debt by her for like so many times, and as he starts like talking and trying to like explain why he can't get the spice to where like to the Sweet Tea Nation, you hear in the back of this like great hall area, you hear a scream, like a blood curdling scream. And you notice that you haven't seen the king of the Earl King at all. At all. You haven't seen the Earl Queen, and you haven't seen their 2 kids at all throughout this entire event. You saw them real quickly, like at the beginning, but throughout the rest of it, nowhere. You haven't seen him talk to anyone. You haven't seen him like do anything, grab a drink, have like another speech or anything. And it has been like 2-ish hours. So all of you hear this blood curdling scream, and the queen runs out of the double doors screaming, "The king has been murdered!" And that is where we're going to end our session for tonight.
What?
But we gotta end it somewhere.
What? Oh, frick. Oh, frick.
Well,
I'm gonna frick out. Okay, so Spice Girls and the King and Mad Science to sum up. Okay, great. Lovely.
the tea
Well,
has been spilled.
the tea is in the process of being spilled. Yes.
And it is hot.
It is
Piping.
very hot.
Goodness. Oh my gosh, an active teason. This chat is killing me. Like someone just killed the king. Or yes. Anyway, okay, you are amazing. I'm so excited right now. Thank you all for being here with us for episode 1 of campaign 1 of T&D. This is thrilling as heck. Everyone's got good fashions, and now there's intrigue. I'm so happy. Yes, so shall we do some outros, Teacup? Is there anything else that you want to leave us with, our TM, our Tea Master, before we...
Okay, 2 things. I would like all of both the watchers at home and the players and your characters I would like you to know that as soon as you hear the scream, you notice that your little rose pendant thing starts to immediately like brightly glow. You don't notice anyone else having it, but you do notice that yours is like beaming. It is bright. But yeah, besides that, that's it for tonight's game of T&D. I am your team master, Alan. Alan. And I really, really hope that you guys have enjoyed tonight's game. So Friday, let's start off with you. That sounds
It sounds weird to not call me mom. You're amazing. All right. Hi. Thank you. I am Friday. I'm the owner of Friday Afternoon Tea. Normally the same old face you see on this channel. So excited to be here with friends tonight. So you can find me here on this channel. This is my home channel. You can also find me in my work life on most socials at Friday Tea, except for here and on TikTok at Friday Afternoon Tea, because someone jacked Friday Tea before I got there, so we had to go with the long version. Boo. So I do make tea for nerds. I play games with nerds, and on the side, I write weird, spooky stories and analyses on death culture and why fiction is very important to humans. So I do all those things, and that is me. Shauna, over to you.
Hello. This is me waiting for my thing to come up so I can remember who I am and what I do. Um, Hi, I'm Shauna. Again, my pronouns are she, her. I am an engineer, a space wizard for charity, an artist, and a moderator at large. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at She Is the Weather, on TikTok as Moon Prism Power Mask Up, not makeup, mask up, and on Twitch as That's No Moon Prism. You can also often find me in other people's Twitch streams, namely Cadiosaurus, Hey Good, and a few other TikTok ADHD educators. So I'm on those places a lot. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. I'm so glad you're all here, and I hope you enjoyed this as much as we did.
Hi, my name is Reese. I use she, her pronouns. I am the co-founder and co-host of TTRPG, which is a Twitch channel here, so be sure to go ahead and follow us. We have a show every last Sunday of the month where we interview members of the TTRPG community. Also be sure to follow us on Twitter at TEATRPG_. You can also follow me personally at Miss Reese1 on Twitter as well.
And my name is Josh. I'm a freelance tabletop game designer. I've got a whole bunch of stuff out, published with a bunch of cool people. I am a variety streamer on my own channel. I typically do stuff 2-3 days a week. A lot of it is D&D themed. Sometimes it's just super chill hanging out. I like to play Stardew Valley on Sundays. And of course, you can find me on other channels as well. On Fridays, I play in a little D&D show called Tampo over at the Rock Punch ATL Twitch channel in the Islands of Sina Una world. It's a phenomenal setting written by a Filipino team, and we've got the director and the co-director from that project involved with our show, kind of basically taking us on a tour through this pre-colonial Filipino world. It's super cool, and just really like just phenomenal like learning experience about Filipino culture. So definitely come check us out for that. I am also the assistant director of ambassadors at Jasper's Game Day. It's a nonprofit organization that uses tabletop gaming, like what we just did here today, for the cause of suicide prevention and awareness. And on top of that, I am also a Take This ambassador, representing mental health education and providing resources for mental health in the video game and streaming world as well. You can find me on all social media platforms at Joshua M. Simons, or here on Twitch at just Joshua Simons. Someone took the M. I don't know where it went. If you find it, feel free to let me know. I would love that very much. I'll just close by saying this was a phenomenal session. Thank you so much for letting me play with y'all.
Yeah, thank you, Teacup, for running this. And I hope I hope all y'all in chat, thank you so much for all your puns and for engaging with each other. You made it so much fun for us to be here tonight. We're having just a blast. Please do come back next week. This was session 1 of 4 in our first campaign on this channel. Tell your friends, blah, blah, blah. Come back and see us. We're having so much fun being goofy with you. For tonight, I would love it if you would all stick around. We're going to go raid our dear friend Tanya over at Cypher of Tear. Yes, I did that. So we're going to go see Tanya. If you'd please stick around for the raid and blow her up, that would be awesome. Thank you. Love you. And we'll see you next week.
Bye. Thank you very much.